Hey, welcome back. It's Kimile, and you are listening to Heal with Kimile podcast. Today, I've got another story about a tragic relationship where one of my sweet clients has been in a really difficult relationship. Gosh, I think it's 18 years now. Married, 4 kids, tried therapy, tried doing a lot of stuff this last year and a half. And last night, it got so bad. He's drunk, he's raging, and he grabs her, trying to grab her phone. The phone's a lot of a fight with people. And he's got her by the arms, drags her in the living room. She's on her back. She bit him. Self-defense, she bit him. But she's been calling the police, trying to get the police there because he's out of control, screaming, yelling, scaring her, scaring the kids. And they take her to jail. Now, I don't know the full story. I was not there fully. And I do trust officers. I think officers have a hard job, and they're rolling up on a domestic. And people are crazy. And he's maybe calm now. He's calmed down. He's got alcohol in his system. He's feeling pretty good. She's the one hysterical. Maybe he's there like, we're going to take this girl out of here. I don't know. But they take her away. So she's been in county lockup all night. She just got out. I talked to her on the phone. We're going to call her Julia. Okay. Not her name, but we're going to call her Julia. Are you ready, Julia? Okay. Because last time we talked, she's just terrified to file for divorce. She's just terrified. She doesn't want to traumatize her children. She's there for the right reasons. She still loves him. She feels for him. She knows he's got some issues, but she still cares. Okay, well, again, she's sacrificing so much of herself to make this work. And in the course of the history that I know of with these people, lots of secrets came out, lots of stuff, lots of abuse, to be honest with you. And when he point blank asked me, well, what would you do? You think I'm that bad? And I said, I'm going to call him Jake. I said, Jake, I'm going to tell you right now, 99% of the women that I know, myself included, if you would have done any of that stuff, it's cause for divorce. This is not stuff you do to a wife. This is not stuff you do to kids. You shouldn't still be married. You've been abusive is what you've been. So yeah, I'm going to tell you, you probably should get divorced, or she does have grounds to divorce you. So just in denial. And I'm talking about snorting Adderall, snorting painkillers, driving this way, gambling, taking, house payment money, gambling it away. They don't have money for groceries or diapers or formula years ago. So he's been a drug addict. He's been a gambler. He's cheated. The porn is constant. And it's not like, it's kind of violent porn, to be honest with you. So this is just all the stuff that I find out. I broke his son's arm. Like he broke his boy's arm. Covered up. Again, everybody's covering up for Jake. Jake, he can't go through anything. Jake, he can't have anything on his record, And he's the breadwinner. She can't work. Doesn't want her working. No. Wants her home with those kids. That's his wife. That's his woman, And she's just about had a gutful. But she's super feminine, super sweet, just loves him and wants to help him. He's got a difficult relationship with his mother. His mother was abusive, flat out. She was abusive. So he's always had trust issues. I feel for him. I get it. Tried to do therapy on that. We got so far. But he is so not sober. And until he's sober, can't even get anywhere with this person, right? Unless people are sober, there's no real work. There's no introspection. It's, I got an itch, I got to scratch it. And there's a pick a fight with somebody, I got a reason to use. That's the favorite of an addict. It's like, her and I are fighting. I'm going to go get a drink. I'm going to drink at home now. I'm going to smoke some pot. There's just all this escape route. He's a Houdini. He'll just Houdini his life's problems, right? Until last night when literally they're in a fisticuffs and he's grabbed her by the arms and I don't know where she bit him, I think on the cheek or something, but he's in her face. I mean, how do you bite someone? He's got her down, pinned down to the ground, her arms, and there's probably bruises. But literally, and this was the cop's description, the report, I think she bit his cheek because he's right in her face screaming at her, right? That's self-defense in my book. Now, again, I don't know. We'll see what happens. And there's going to be court stuff happening, of course. But these kids are there. These kids see it. And then your mom's a whore. Your mom's done this. So he just tries to ruin her to the children, which is child abuse. Flat out child abuse. Just like breaking your son's arm is child abuse, right? So all this is going on. And this has been somebody, like he and I have gone toe to toe. I'm not going to sit back and just be okay with somebody being like this. And if you really want therapy, you're going to get called on your shit with me. I'm not going to just sit there and go, well, you said you're sorry. No, dude, you need to get sober, or you need to do something like this, or maybe leave the house. And they've been doing some not really good work here. They kind of quit. But when I confronted him is when he kind of got, didn't trust me. He's mad at me. And I will call him never faithful. Like that's kind of my term for him, never faithful, because he's not. He's been very unfaithful the entire marriage. Why is she still here? I know. Why is she still here? Why do women stay with this kind of guy, right? So never faithful, but it's not just faithful in sex. It's faithful in word. So he's the kind of guy that will, if they fight, he calls mom, calls sister, calls her mom, calls her sisters, calls the whole town, and what a POS his wife is. Julia's just a POS, and the house is a mess. And he'll take pictures of the dirty kitchen sink or something and then sends it to all these people just to embarrass and humiliate her. And again, systematically just, she will say to me, I feel like a piece of shit. I just feel like I'm a nothing. I'm a nobody. Beautiful, beautiful girl. They're all pretty. They're all these pretty girls that have no self-esteem, right? This has kind of been a historical thing with me in my world. So I'm working with her and she's getting stronger and she's smarter and she sees that some of this stuff is just not okay. And there have been major improvements. However, the second I try and call him out on his stuff and I try and hold him to account, you said you would quit calling people behind her back. You said you'd keep it in the therapy sessions. You said you'd bring your concerns to me. And when he does that, I'm not going to say, oh, poor you, poor Jakey. I'm going to say, okay, well, what's your piece of this? I got her piece. What's your piece? Doesn't like that. Wants me to side with him. I don't do that. I am on the side of what I consider the truth. And the truth is a tricky thing. My best as I possibly can, I will side with the truth. So when I confront him about breaking his word, breaking his promise to us, that's when I lose him because he doesn't want to be held accountable. And as long as he's good looking enough or charming enough or, manipulative enough, he can go to all these other women, her mother, her sisters, his mom, her mom, all these people to validate him. He doesn't ever have to grow up. And this is the thing about that. I mean, people, again, that's a narcissistic move again, because he's got to get someone to make him feel like he's the king. Oh, poor you. Yeah. And then he justifies his abuse of her. So now she's been arrested and she's not able to go home. She can't contact him or the children. The children were there. So she's got a charge of child endangerment and domestic violence against him. Yet he's been the abuser for years. So I'm going to say this to you, ladies, gentlemen, if you're in a relationship and it's definitely not working and you're with someone who's toxic and they're bringing out the worst of you, like Jakey bring out the worst of Julia. She's turned into someone she wasn't. For her, she's not a person that's going to bite people. I would never think she's terrified of violence. She's just very feminine, very sweet. I would never think she would do that unless she felt like she was in life and death situation. And she has had some injuries to her upper back and so her neck. And I think that maybe she was in an awkward position. Regardless, wrong, but he's wrong also for holding her down and being drunk and belligerent and all this other stuff. So that's going to take its course. I think finally she's had a gutful. But I'm going to say to you, if you're in a situation like this, do not let it get this far down the road where it has to get legal or the police involved for you to get out. There was an opportunity about 6 months ago where literally he was out of the house and he wormed his way back in. She let him back in. He's so charming, love bombing, amazing, right? He took her to some trips and spent a lot of money on her. So, oh no, he loves me. So, okay, you took a break, great, break from therapy, fine. And here we are. So I'm back on the case. I'll be trying to help calm her trauma. She saw someone die in jail last night, I guess, and all these different things. Very, very upsetting. And the kids have gone through quite the traumatic event as well. But if you're in a relationship like this, that you just know you're in a toxic situation, it really is helpful to talk to someone like me or a friend or your mom, someone that loves you. And you need to ask them point blank, am I getting crazy here? Am I turning into someone I'm not? And I pray to God that they're honest with you, because if you look at you before that relationship and you look at yourself after, do you know yourself? Are you a better person because of this relationship? Do you feel safe? Do you feel loved? Are you getting untethered? Do you have anxiety? Are you having to be medicated because your nervous system is on red alert all the time? You feel like you're in fight, flight, or freeze. You glitch up. You can't think. You're brain fog. Your hormones are all over the place. Headaches, migraines. This is kind of the cycle that people get into when they're in high stressful relationships. And it is toxic. It is codependent. And if the kids are seeing this, it is so not okay. But do not let it build up. Do not let it get to the place and the point where you're now getting arrested for having to defend yourself by biting your husband in the face. Doesn't that just sound insane? Yeah, I'm sure. Because it's gotten so bad. And when she could have got out and she had an attorney and things were ready to go, I think they call it hoovering. The term is hoovering when a narcissist gets you back and corners you. It's like, oh, now he's finally love bombed her enough, got her back in the deal. She couldn't resist that. And now it's called hoovering. So he's just sucking her energy, sucking her soul. And now she's thinking everything's going to be fine, like they promised. Just kidding. Now it's not fine. And she found herself in jail, lockup. Not a fun place to be. So this has been a wild week for me, y'all. I've had that. I had another client go through some crazy stuff. And this is just how it goes sometimes. Police officers say the full moon, lots of domestic stuff on the full moon. People are highly emotional. Maybe it was a full moon. I don't know. But if you're in a situation like this and you know that you need to talk to someone, you don't know how to get out, I'm a great strategist. I can help you figure out what your options are, and I can help the room maybe quit spinning. You're probably in trouble somehow. You're emotionally unstable. You don't feel like you could even think anymore, and you probably can't. And until you get out of it, you really do need some healing time. But until you get out of it, you're in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you're not able to really heal. You're just getting through the moment, getting through the day. And you might feel like you're in such a hole you cannot get out. I understand that totally. But there is always a choice. At some point, there's going to be a way for you to get out. You have to take it. You can't go back and go into denial. The number one thing that narcissist relationships make you do is they make you doubt yourself. They make you think that you're the crazy one because you're having a reaction for something, because you have a feeling about something. And even just bringing up some sort of concern or feeling with your partner, and they're like, why are you got to bring that up? You want to ruin my day? You're inconveniencing me. That's what they're thinking. If you're with a narcissist, that's not about, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let's sit and talk about it. I want to hear all about that. You're not with that person. If they're narcissistic, you're not with that person that can help you hear yourself. So you can feel like, well, maybe I shouldn't have said anything, or I'm walking on eggshells. I can't win no matter what I do. So you're conditioned not to bring up issues. You just can't have any issues. But how can you hold in your emotions forever like that? You can't. You just can't. There's a guy online and I watch him and he's literally screaming at the top of his lungs, let him go, let him go. It's a great video and I can't remember his name, but it's really true. Let him go. Let this go and put yourself first, because at some point it's going to be too late and you're not going to be able to. So if any of this sounds like you and you want to talk, you know how to get a hold of me, healwithkimile.com, HEAL with KIMILE.com. Thanks for listening. Good luck to you. Bye.